YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Concise the Barber, and in this video we have a concise comparison on an interesting topic. This is going to be a comparison on all the crazy vector motors that are out there. I actually just picked up just 3 machines that we're going to do it on, which is the Metal Instincts, the Caliber Disruptors, and also the DarkStar 72 by Supreme. These are all vector motors, and we're going to do a comparison, and I'm going to tell you just a little bit of everything about each one and what I think which one is like the best when it comes to vector motors. So this is the vector motor challenge. So let's just get straight into this video.
CTB, you know who it is.
When it comes to this type of comparison stuff, we're going to talk about price. First things first, right? And I kind of have them in order from high to low. Surprisingly, this thing, well, not surprisingly, but you'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to price difference. So the Metal Instincts are at $299.95. You got the Caliber Disruptors you have at $189.99. And then you have the Supreme DarkStar 72s at $179.99. So this is the cheapest one out of the 3. And I really think that, you know, it's a big difference, basically almost $100 difference, you know, so, and some change when it comes to these being $300 and these are not even $200. So that being said, I definitely feel like the DarkStar wins when it comes to the price category, but you know, some people might care about that, some people might not at the end of the day. Let's get straight into it, right? So since they're vector motors, most of these, the vector motors are the motors that rev up when they are going against any resistance. And if you don't know that the StyleCraft is said to be around 9,500 SPMs to 11,500. Disruptor, I had to do some digging to find this one, but they are at 10,000 SPMs, and the Supreme DarkStar is at 8,000 all the way up to 12,000 RPMs. Now I thought that was interesting. So of course, I'm going to show you guys a clip on me doing like the rev test and see which one really revs up the most. And you might be surprised which one that is. So just take a look at that real quick. Let me get this thing to rev up. Let's see where it's at. So that's where it sits. Let's see how much it revs up to. So 10, 12. Let's do this bad boy. Okay. This revs up more than this one. From that, you know, y'all be, you know, on best judgment. I'm not saying I'm the strongest person in the world, but as you see, the Supreme DarkStars got up there. Like they really did. And I was kind of surprised about that. I thought that was kind of interesting when it came to these vector motors. So now let's talk about runtime, right? Now this is where, you know, it's really up to you. It depends on how much clients you're cutting, you know, a day and all that jazz. So you have the Metal Instinct Clipper, 4-hour runtime. The Disruptor has a 3-hour runtime. So does the DarkStar 72, 3-hour runtime. Now, both of these basically have the same charge time, around 2.5 to 3 hours. That's not bad. And I believe this one is at 2 hours. So the Instincts do win on that, but to y'all, it might not be much of a difference, even though that these two, their runtime and charge time is very, very, very close. When you're done with this, then, you know, you got a little bit of time that you're going to have to wait to get it to full capacity. Some of us, you know, we'll put this on the dock right after just using them and then use our trimmers, and then we'll probably be, you know, be just fine. Not that big of a deal, but if you're a mobile barber, you're doing a lot of stuff outside of the shop, then that might be something you might consider. So that's what I have. The Metal Instincts do win on that one. Let's just talk about some of the stuff that it comes with. Now, to me, packaging does matter. Some people care about it, some people don't. I mean, the Metal Instincts, they come with 3 lids. The StyleCraft always does a great job when it comes to packaging. You get their premium double mag guards. Like, you can't go wrong with that. You get a screw, you get click levers, you get a stretch bracket. Like, when it comes to packaging, they really do a good job, and I can't even be mad at that. Now, the Disruptor, this seems like a new packaging for them. I actually like their packaging, not a problem. One thing I don't care for is their guards. The guards, I love the color of them, but just a single magnetic guard, and they're kind of not the strongest to my liking. Don't really care for that. But one thing I do like is that the fact that the charging dock and the charging port, how it comes like with an extra piece, love that. So big ups on Caliber for that. Supreme, they don't have multiple lids. This one only has an extra lid. The Metal Instincts has 3 lids. Disruptor has 2 lids. This just comes as is. It doesn't have multiple lids, but they have many color options, which are dope, but not much in the packaging. I do like their guards though. I will say that, just to be honest with you. I thought they were interesting. They kind of remind me of the Wall Premium guards, but I do like their guards. Not bad at all. However, it does come with a charging dock, but there's no other options of charging, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. I do like everything that comes with it. You don't get like a whole stretch bracket or anything of that nature. Like, I think StyleCraft is like really like the ones that go hard for that, but it don't come with much actually at all. It comes with the basic, and I'm glad that it comes with the basic. I mean, clearly you can see the price range at $179 and this is $300. I would hope that this come with a lot more. Honestly, it would have been dope if they come with extra blades, but that's a whole different story. So when it comes to packaging, I will give it to the Metal Instincts. At that price, they should win. So let's talk about a few things, some pros, some cons, what I really love about them. First thing I want to talk about is the USB-C option. This is a $300 clipper, and it does not have a USB-C option. It just has USB. The Disruptor is $189.99, and this does have a USB-C option, and I'm happy that they did that. Now, their charging dock is just a dock that you sit this clipper in, and there's 2 metal prongs that's how it charges. It does not have the traditional like entry of like a plug and charge. That's just USB-C. Now, Supreme DarkStar does not have USB-C. It doesn't have a secondary option at all. It's just this piece charging on the dock, and that's it. So for me, it's like, as dope that Caliber did that, but I'm wondering why these two did not do that. So when it comes to the USB-C option, clearly Caliber wins that. Now, before I'm gonna do performance last, right now I'm gonna do like design, ergonomics, right? So I have to be honest, the Metal Instincts, I love them. I love the weight of them. I like how they feel in the hand. They got the nice grooves in the back, everything. One thing, this sound right here is like a Vector Motor sound. So I'm really not gonna go talk about noise too much because they all basically almost sound the same. But just off of feel, I do like how the Metal Instincts feel, and you really can't go wrong with these. For real, when it comes to like just picking these up all the time and doing some work. Like, you're not gonna get tired, your hand's not gonna hurt, you know, using these. And I love the blade. It comes with the Vapor blade. All of this stuff, click lever works well, like it, just good. All right. So now the Caliber Disruptor, it's too plain for me, honestly. Like, it has no grooves. Ergonomically, it's not really there for me. The click lever is kind of stiff. I did try to adjust it and I just couldn't get it right. The blade is not bad though. I do like the blade. I like the style of it. Like, it's like a love-hate. Like, I really feel like they could have made this thing like really something. Like, this thing could have been the senior of Vector Motors in a sense, just because I like the body of the feel of it. Like, I really feel like they could have did some things. I do like the display, but don't laugh at me. It reminds me of like a church window. I don't know if y'all can understand what I'm saying, but anyway. Nothing wrong with it. I just feel like sometimes it's just being the small details of things that can make or break a thing. So for me, the Disruptor didn't do its best when it comes to the ergonomics. I appreciate the tech they put in it, but they could have made it a better feel. And also, it does have some weight to it. That's another reason why I like it. Supreme went a whole different way. This thing is completely light. It's one of the lightest clippers I have used. And the grooves in the back, they're more, I feel like, yeah, these things I feel like are more profound than some clippers that have like always have grooves. So I really like the fact that my fingers rest there well. The click lever, I adjusted it Sometimes you can try to adjust these things like I did with the disruptor and it won't adjust well, but these did, and I had no problems with this. I like it. And the blade, same thing, you know, nice taper blade. It works well. I have no problems with this clipper at all. I really picked this one up out of these three the most so far, you know, since I had them. But I mean, if you guys want to hear them, you'll see what I mean when I say they all kind of sound the same. They all sound the same, you know what I mean? This one is a switch. The other two are pushed right in the front. I do like that, so not a bad problem. All right, so Vector Motor Challenge, let's be honest. Which one really hit it out of the park and which one was just like, man, I wish they would have did a little bit better, right? For me, out of these three, which one is you will probably get the most bang for your buck? When it comes to the performance, they all perform basically the same. I would honestly have to say these two perform basically the same. This one is just under it, you know? So that's just what I want to say about the performance. They're Vector motors. They're going to do some work. They're going to do well with bulk. They can do well with fading, depending on the blade that you have on it. Like, honestly, the motor in itself should let you know that this thing is going to work well. Now, all the other stuff kind of matters though, right? So that being said, which one am I going to pick up the most? Like, which one I'm going to pick out of the three? And as of right now, just as of right now, I easily can say the DarkStar 72. And I know that might sound crazy because it really would have been this one, and this thing is a beast, don't get me wrong. But if I had to really sit down and really rock clippers all day, it's probably going to be these, because they do basically the same work that these do. They're not as heavy as the Instincts. They actually rev up. I mean, like I said, I'm not probably the strongest person in the world, but even with my strength, these things rev up to 11,000 and some change. This was trying to get there, but it didn't get there. You get what I'm saying? So I have to give it to the DarkStar, like, for real. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Caliber, honestly, I think they could just work on the ergonomics just a little bit more. I appreciate the quality of it. I do. I think there's the small things that y'all can do just to really make this thing a beast, and then we can start talking about, you know, comparing it really to these two. But when it comes to the Vector Challenge, I gotta give it to Supreme, man. They're about $120 cheaper, hour less than Runtime. They rev up more. Their Vector motor revs up to a higher SPM. Are we ever going to get to that point? I don't know. Like, I don't think none of us are cutting, you know, horses, and like, we ain't going home. And if you got a dog that has crazy hair and crazy fur, I don't see you using it on a dog and then going back using it on a client. That would be crazy. But just the fact that it can do it, and it doesn't have 3 interchangeable lids like this does. It doesn't have everything in the packaging. It doesn't have a USB. It's just a regular clipper. Now, once they get a USB-C, and I don't know where they'll price it at, but if they did that and made it weight a little bit more, probably charge around what do y'all think? Like $225, $230? Honestly, I could see that $229. I can see them try to be like the big brother of this. I can see them doing that. But even not doing that, I still would pick it because, you know, the ergonomics, it is light. I couldn't stand that it was light, but I'm learning to love it. The click lever works very well for me. Nothing wrong with this click lever, but this one just flows a lot more for some reason. Maybe I just tweaked it really well. I don't know. But when it comes to this challenge, out of the Vector motors, the DarkStar does win. I just have to be honest and real with y'all. I do like it. I pick it up the most, and I don't know. I think it speaks for itself. So y'all let me know which one y'all would pick and why did you pick that one out of the three. I think they're all amazing tools. Shout out to the brands to continue to try and to elevate and continue to grow and try to figure out where they finding the gaps to fit in and actually like and excel in and stuff like that. So shout out to all the brands, man. And honestly, when it comes to this Vector motor stuff, man, it's getting crazy. I think it's just the beginning, you know, honestly. So we'll see what all the other brands have in store. We'll see if there's a part 2 of any of these or a part 3, but I appreciate y'all watching, man. The Clipper wars are still happening. So this is just the Vector motor. So don't get too crazy. I can't say this is like #1 or might be #1. Like, I might have a whole different spin on that. Who knows? We'll see. But make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for continuing to watch my stuff, man. We're close to 10K, man. So that giveaway is coming out soon. Y'all be blessed.
CTB. You know who it is.